This feels foreign. It's been so long. It feels foreign. I almost forgot how to set up. It took me about 10, 15 minutes longer to figure out how to set up um the live because it's been so long since I've done one. But we are back. We're back. Bestie, Sharita, good morning to you. How are you doing, love? Welcome back to my news crew members such as Sharita. Welcome back. Welcome back. Those of you that are new viewers, we welcome you in as well. Bessie says she's doing good. Good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. Let me hold on. It's still some things that I'm forgetting. I need to set up. I'm so out of the loop. It's been so long. All right. Hold on 1 second. And then we're gonna get this thing going. Okay. No, Bessie, you haven't been missing them. I haven't. I haven't been doing them. I had like a lot going on. Nothing bad. Nothing bad. Like just a class reunion, T-shirt orders that people needed done. So I've been really busy with other things, but I apologize that I've taken. So I hadn't even came on and said hey to my peoples and nothing. So I have to apologize for that. I'm trying to hold on. I can't find her. Do it this way. Hold on, P. I know I should have had this all together, but I didn't. But we're here. We're here. We're here. Okay, so now I got that sent out. Hopefully she gets it, and then she can join the panel. But make no mistake about it. I've told you all I am not hipped to the musical artists that's out right now. Jenny, I told Jenny to come in. Let me send her a request. I told her to come in. I told her we were about to start the show. Um, I just sent her an invite, so hopefully she'll catch up. Demetrius V, welcome in, brother. It's been a while, man. I'm not up on these new artists. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really follow. I don't really. Just and 86. That's another one of my news crew members. How you doing, Bestie? Hope your morning is going good. I don't keep up with the new music scene. I don't keep up with the artists. I don't know the names. I know a lot of them is like, little yachties and little babies and uh just stuff like that. I know all of that, but I don't know who they are per se, right? And it's the same as this young man right here on the screen. Now, he goes by the name. Okay, Jenny's in. Jenny's in. Welcome in. Welcome in, Bessie. There she is. There's Jenny. Let's give it up to Jenny. Jenny got that number 3 gifter badge. You know what that means? She been putting in that work. Good morning, Bessie. That's the same. The same goes as this guy right here on the screen named David. But if his name is spelled D, the number 4, VD. If I remember that correctly. But here's the thing. I don't know much about him, but this is what he's been getting a lot of press over here lately. They found an unalived body in the trunk of his Tesla. Um, that's it. That's it. D, the letter 4. I mean the number 4. Then the letters VID. Thank you, Jess Ann. Thank you. Told you I went up on it like that. But yes, him. They found allegedly. We're gonna say alleged. I'm gonna say allegedly. It's not alleged because it's a whole case behind it. It really happened, but we'll just say alleged because he hasn't been proven guilty of it. Let's say that. And one of the reasons he hadn't been proven guilty is the fact that he's on the run. They think he's on the run because he hasn't. There she is. Hold on. All right, baby. I sent you the request. Now I'm about to bring you up. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. There we go. All right. Had to bring my baby girl up. Baby
Hello.
girl. Everybody, that's my daughter right there. She's at work. She's joining us from work. So that's dedication right there. She's a real one. You doing okay, baby?
Yeah, I'm doing good on my little break.
Okay. Okay. Let me ask you, do you know anything about this guy right here? Do you listen to his music? Do you know his music or anything? No. Okay. Oh, I don't
I
either.
never
I don't
even
either.
heard of him.
Me neither. Until recently. His name is David. Now, hold on. Just just saying had it for me. David, his name's David. It's spelled D, the number four, and then VID. David. And he's a recording artist. But here lately, he's been in the media because they found an unalived body in his Tesla, right? Or in the trunk of his Tesla. Uh, let's see. Love baby, welcome in. I don't. Here's the thing. That's what I was just saying, love baby. I'm not ready to say that he did it because he hasn't been found guilty of it. Yeah, yeah, we can arguably say that the fact that it was found in a car registered to him, near a residence that he lives in California, and then I heard last night. And I don't know if this is true, but I heard last night that he's now gone or on the run or missing or not staying in the house anymore that he was in, that the car was found nearby. So I don't think he's been charged yet because they're saying he's nowhere to be found right now. Uh, 15 and pregnant too. Oh, she was pregnant. Now the victim that we found in his that was found in the car registered to him, she was a not the age of consent. How about that? We'll say that. At the time that they met, from what I'm getting, but her body was found in the car a day after her 18th birthday. No problem, love baby. Thank you for joining us. And her name is Celeste Rivas. I hope I pronounced that right. I do not want to disrespect that young lady. She didn't even get to live life, and according to the investigation or what the media is releasing about it, she had been unalive for quite some time. So we know, if we base it off what they're saying in their investigation, that she had been unalive for quite some time, then we know that she didn't get to live to see her 18th birthday. Thank you for that heart me. I appreciate that, love baby. Sharita said she was younger than that. Yeah, yeah, she was younger than that. Now, uh, they're saying she ran. Her family has stated that she left home before previously, um, for some time, and then she came back. And I believe they said she came back for maybe a week or so, but then she left again. Right? Just saying. So just saying said a month or more. Was she gone a month before? A month or more before she came back? Or are you saying she stayed when she came back for like a month? Love Baby says she's 15 and a runaway. That's what she was. Yeah, she would run away often. Okay, okay. So now we know. Okay, so she ran away quite often. Whatever, and we don't know why. It could be plenty of factors that go into that. Could be the family life at home, the family. living in the house. It could be just a rebellious teenager. I don't know. I'm not going to put that on her. At the end of the day, the one thing I think we can all agree on is the fact that her life didn't deserve to be cut short like it was, in the manner that it was. Joe Bell, good morning to you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you thank you for joining the hashtag. I'm gonna say it. Sharita said yes, she came back and she stayed for a month. Okay, thank you, Bestie. So she has a pattern of running away. We see that. We see that. Um, at the end of the day, I want to point something out, especially to us parents who have kids that are preteen or teenagers and stuff. Have to be mindful on social media who they talk to, who they meeting with and stuff like that. And I'll even go as far as saying, as parents, I think we reserve the right to be in their business as much as possible. Yes, that's going to get on their nerves, but that's how we find out who they are communicating with. Jenny says the fact that her family showed no concern for her and asking for help with finding her. Okay, now, Bestie, you brought up a valid point. Now, see, that's what I'm saying. So we don't know exactly what the home dynamic was that may have caused her to run away, or may have that led her to believe that running away was a better option. You see what I'm saying? Love Baby says your child has no business, and I agree with that. I agree with that. Just saying says, oh yeah, all up in their social media. Exactly. I agree with both of you ladies, because at the end of the day, their business is our business. We are the sole proprietors of their business. They do not have a business without us. You see what I'm saying? So I don't care what child gets upset. And yeah, I do know that they try to hide it more when you are hold on. Let me get something to drink. Excuse me. I know they do try to hide things more from us when we are checking up on them, but stay on it. Stay adamant on it. Because look at it this way. Would you rather your child be mad at you because you're up in their mix and then and staying on them than to have them unalived or kidnapped or something that, that there's some place you don't know where they are? Like, yo, nah. You can be mad and be in the same house, and that'll work. That'll work good for me. Jenny says I have put blocks on my Wi-Fi for their devices. Another good thing, Bestie. Good point. Matter of fact, pin that, because parents, that's another step to take. Put blocks on there. Put guardrails on what they can go into, what they can access. I know sometimes there's an app that sometimes parents can actually see what all websites their childs are visiting and how long they spent on them. I forgot what it was. We had it one time on my stepson's phone. I can't remember the name of it, but they're out there. Jenny says, have you heard of the young lady who was chatting with a boy? And that went up too fast. And ran away. No, I haven't heard. This is the only one recently that I've heard about. Oh, you can't pin with pen on. That's right. Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, y'all just know. Take that advice from Jenny. Put blocks on certain things that they can access. Just Ann says talking is clapping and sharing is caring. Yes, it is. Let's give it up to her on that. Please, you all, please. If you don't mind, we would so graciously be appreciated if you share it out the live. Tap the screen. It don't cost no green to tap the screen, right? So gift the panelists if you can. So that's who he is. We're gonna get into it a little more. Today's video credit goes to Law and Crime Network. I feel like if you really want something, if you want the truth on something, this is a great source to go to. And like I said, I don't know much about it. I don't know much about him. I don't know much about his music. But, and here's one more thing I want to add in there. They're saying that they believe there's a second victim. Second body. I don't know. So, but today's video creator is Law and Crime Network, and the title of it says 5 creepy new details in dismembered teen found in David's Tesla case. All right, so not only was she unalive, she was dismembered. Crazy work. Let's go.
The investigation into singer David has intensified after the body of a teenager was discovered in a Tesla that has been linked to him. From canceled tours to social media revelations, new developments are raising serious questions about their supposed relationship and the ongoing probe. We are going to break down the latest developments in this case and what law enforcement is focusing on next with a retired detective. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. The investigation into Houston-born singer David, D4VD, real name David Anthony Burke, continues to widen after the body of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez.
Hold on a sec. Try to do this since we're talking about her. Let's go ahead and give her respect. This is the young lady.
Was found decomposed in a Tesla reportedly registered to him. Authorities are still working to determine exactly what happened here, but the fallout is growing. There's an alleged former teacher of Celeste even coming forward with troubling claims about her connection to the singer, and we're going to get there. But first, we got to look back at what we know when this case first broke. We covered it here on Sidebar, but on September 8th, LAPD officers responded to Hollywood Tow on Mansfield Avenue. And this is after workers reported a foul odor coming from a car. That car was a Tesla with Texas plates.
It's never been easier to start a podcast.
Was it? Oh, so okay, so it is D4VD. Okay, it's no problem. We look. We're like we said, we're not hip to these artists nowadays. We don't even listen to that music, so it's okay. I didn't know.
Beginners. Even if you have zero experience, you can use their AI tools and intuitive editing features to create a professional looking result. You can get transcriptions automatically and use them to edit like a doc, or you can use the chapter timeline feature, which makes it way easier just to skim
white
and
shirts
scan.
with
Ready to share? Well, it's okay if you don't have an
splatters on
audience yet. Everybody starts somewhere, and Rivers
Registered to David. It had been abandoned in the Hollywood Hills and towed. Inside the front trunk, authorities discovered dismembered human remains wrapped in a bag. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner identified the body as Celeste Rivas Hernandez, who had been missing from Riverside County since April of 2024. According to reporting from KTLA.
Hold on. Jenny brought up a valid point. She said his set was a funeral setting with pins. It's wild. Now, the reason why I paused that real quick and said, and I know, in case, I don't know if she's in here, but I know my wife said, you need to let it play. Okay, but hold on. The reason why I want to stop there and point out something that Jenny just stated is because, once again, we go back into where we say that these people's lyrics, we take it as art when we hear it, but it's actually a confession a lot of times, right? It's a confession. And you'll hear in here, I think in this video, they talk about some of the lyrics that he put in his songs. And it just really, I'm going to use the word that my grandson just taught me that they using now. It's cringe. When you hear the lyrics and you think about all that's going on right now. Yes, Jenny, dry snitching on themselves, right?
The Cybertruck had been there for about 5 days. The medical examiner's office said that Celeste's body was badly decomposed and appeared to have been in the vehicle for an extended period of time. Now, Celeste's cause of death was listed as deferred, but around the time that she went missing in 2024, there were rumors that circulated that David was dating a teen girl named Celeste. This is according to screen captures of messages that were posted in 2023 in chat rooms, namely Discord. Now, Celeste, who had just turned 15 the day before her body was found, was remembered by family as a wonderful daughter, sister, cousin, and friend. Her brother previously told NBC Los Angeles that she disappeared after leaving the family home to see a movie with David. Reports also noted a striking detail that Celeste had a tattoo on her finger reading
Facts, just saying.
And multiple photos show David with a nearly identical tattoo on his hand. Now, in the past week, both of David's remaining U.S. tour dates, San Francisco and Los Angeles.
The tattoo, they got matching tattoos on their finger, and it says shh, S-H-H-H, shh. That kind of lets you know it's kind of like keep a secret, right? Shh, be quiet. Love Baby says, so she was 14 and got a 14 or 13 at the time. Wow, right, exactly. 13 or 14 at the time. So he already didn't even have a reason to be talking to her. But, and I don't know if this, because we do know about the BLOOD sacrifices that they do. We don't know if that, I don't know if that's the case here. I don't know if this is just a crazy dude. I don't know. I don't know. I can't really put a finger on it right yet. Like I said, I'm just now learning about it. So
were canceled, along with at least 9 European shows that were listed on Ticketmaster, including an October 1st stop in Norway. A scheduled Grammy Museum appearance in Los Angeles was also pulled from the venue's website. His label, Interscope, later told TMZ that all promotion for David, including his deluxe album release, was
Interscope Records is it's notable, or it may sound familiar because Death Row Records with Tupac, and Tupac was on there, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, all that. Priority Records was under there. And that's run by Jimmy Iovine. Jimmy Iovine is one of those people in the industry that we speak of that are known to have some, we'll just say some sinister, I'll put it this way, some sinister things happen to people that are around him, and the type of environment, the type of culture he keeps is giving those vibes. So when you hear that name, that's Jimmy Iovine is that runs that.
Being paused. And David, by the way, was also the face of a new collaboration between Hollister and Crocs. But he was scrubbed from the campaign just days after it was launched, according to the New York Post. Now, a spokesperson previously told NBC News that David was cooperating with authorities, but to be clear, there's no formal arrests. Now, investigators are digging deeper into this case. We are too, and for that, I want to bring on a special guest. I want to bring in Matthew
love it, baby.
Irvine.
So what vibes? Vibes where people, they end up, some end up unalive. Some end up blackballed from the industry. Just those kind of vibes. We talk about it pretty often. But now that you found us, you'll see what we're saying. Demetrius says, fact, he had a song called Romantic Homicide. Just puts crackers in the soup. That's all right, brother. Exactly. Like you gotta think, for a person to even come up with something like that, there's in here something isn't clicking on all cylinders. And then there is a video, and I want to say it's chicken. I think it's chicken that's chopped up or whatever. But and basically what it says is, when I find out she's talking to another guy or another boy or something like that, and it's looking at the chopped up chicken. Now, some that might have went right over somebody's head. So let me correlate it for you. Here's what I'm saying. To have something like that, and now we see that he's found possibly liable for the unaliving of a girl that he was in a relationship with, or dating, or whatever they call it. In the manner that she was found in, she was, as they just told us, dismembered, chopped up. The chicken is chopped up. The caption on the video of the chicken that's chopped up says, when I find out she's talking to another boy or another guy or something like that. You remember how we've said when it comes to some of these artists and they're in the picture or they're in the video, you got to look deeper within that video or look for the picture inside of the picture. You get me? This is what we're talking about.
He was a retired detective and law enforcement instructor. Thank you so much for coming here on Sidebar. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Jesse.
So based on your experience, how do police, by the way, when they're dealing with,
Just saying is right, Hollywood is so sinister.
But how do police deal with prioritizing cases when you have a celebrity, a famous person linked in some way to a crime? How do they deal with that?
Through Rula, it's easier.
And they hit us with that commercial, as we're about to go into things here.
Well, ideally, there really shouldn't be any distinction based on the fame or wealth of the person implicated in a crime, whether they be the accused or the victim. In reality, there are always pressures that are brought to bear on investigators, be it from within their agency or from the media or the public. And the challenge for the investigator is to remember, as Harry Bosch says, everybody counts or nobody counts.
This is the first Bosch reference we've ever gotten on Sidebar, and you named it. Okay, when you're dealing with a body that's as decomposed as this, how do authorities analyze that evidence? How do they handle that evidence? And the idea that this body was severely decomposed, what does that tell you?
Well, it sounds like from the reporting we've heard so far, and again, I don't know anything about this case other than what's been publicly reported. It sounds like poor Celeste was likely in the front trunk of that vehicle for several weeks before her body was discovered. And there's even been reporting that she was dismembered. That certainly presents a challenge for the medical examiner and for investigators in terms of determining time and cause of death. It also raises some questions in terms of why the killer reportedly chose to
Let's give it up to Sharita. Sharita just got that number 3 gift badge. You know what that means.
Sometimes the killer will dismember their victim because if they do that and disperse the remains over some space, and particularly if certain body parts aren't found, it makes it harder to identify the victim. Now, people that kill strangers don't usually need to worry about the victim being identified because there's nothing that connects to them. So the only time the identity of...
All right, pause. Let's pause right there for a second and let's focus on what he said. Now, the reason why people do that, as far as like dismembering the body, is to try to make it harder to find out the identity of the deceased. All right, I'm going to go a step further. A lot of times that seems like it's a personal thing. Now, he was saying when it's a stranger on stranger crime, there's lesser chances of them actually dismembering the victim because they don't, you know what I mean? They don't care. They don't know him. So they don't expect it to get traced back to them. So this is what this detective was saying.
If the victim is a problem for the killer is if there's some known relationship.
Look, I'm going to say this. I cover crazy stories all day, and I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes it makes me think about myself, my loved ones, family. If something should happen, would my family still be able to cover the big expenses like the mortgage, utilities, the day-to-day bills? Look, I know life insurance
makes the body easier to move. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm an ID junkie. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm an ID junkie. I'm a crime network junkie. I just like watching all of them. Right. I went to college for criminal justice, and that's what I wanted to be, was a detective. Back then, of course, there was a show, New York Undercover, and at the time, my best friend was he was Italian and Arabic, and he looked like Detective Torres. So, and I was, not bald headed, but I had a low haircut. So, if people would play us as being those right there, those characters on New York Undercover, the detectives on there. Jess Ann says, I read that. Okay, my baby says he was walking with demons, and then him getting her pregnant at a young age probably scared him. I agree with you on that, baby. She said he thought he was going down, or she probably got preggo by someone else. That very well could be because, like I said, on that video, when it says when I catch her talking to another boy, and the chicken is chopped up.
Someone would have to have the means and the opportunity to dispose of a body in this fashion.
Welcome
and be
in,
able
Gina.
To deposit the
How
body
you doing, beautiful?
In this car. That, I wonder, is that something investigators are looking into? How can someone have the ability to do something like this? Who can have the means, the opportunity to do that, right?
Selling your car to Carvana is easier than you think. In just seconds, we can give you a
Let's get past this commercial.
We have to kind of keep the Occam's razor principle in mind. I mean, this vehicle was registered to David Burke. It's apparently towed from across the street from a home that he was renting. So the simplest theory would be that this crime happened in or near the vehicle and likely by
Users,
David
there
or
was
somebody
cameras all
close
over the
to him
house
with
and
access
Tesla.
to the vehicle.
I wonder if they
That
searched
said,
those.
as an investigator, we have to keep in mind till the investigation is complete.
My daughter
and all
said he
the
felt like
facts
he
are
had control
that
over
we don't
her.
know yet all the facts. We
Right.
need to
See
think
that?
about what
Definitely
we don't
lead a
yet
person
know.
doing that.
And as an investigator, while you want to trust your intuition and the wisdom of your experience and your common sense, we have to remember that just because you did 100 of these cases
showing her
and it always
picture
turned out
again, so
this
we'll
way
put her
and the
picture
answer
up.
was X, in this case, the answer could still be Y. So we have to keep an open mind. But certainly there's a lot of publicly available information that seems to point to the involvement of David Burke in the death of this
Remember, people,
child.
By the
don't
way,
cost no
what
green to tap the
causes
screen.
decomposition and how quickly does it happen?
Please share if you care. Share the live.
Decomposition is a natural process once the person is no longer alive, and it's affected by a lot of factors, including temperature and whether the body is protected in some way. In this case, in the front trunk of a vehicle in Los Angeles in the late summer, it's likely that decomposition would happen very rapidly.
I want to get into some of the key updates in this case from the last time we spoke. So,
And he says it's like
according
he
to
or
Forbes
someone,
and ABC News, police
Oh, man, that
executed
went
a
up.
search warrant at a Hollywood Hills home on September 18th where David had been staying.
Wanted
They
him to
seized
get
a
caught.
computer, they
Why
seized
leave a
other
Tesla
items of
in a
evidence.
tow yard?
Sources
Facts.
told the Los Angeles Times that
Facts.
David had been renting the home, which the LAPD confirmed to Forbes was on Doheny Place. That's not far from where the Tesla was reportedly
let's get
abandoned.
him back up
And
here.
Matthew, actually, let's
They're
just start
talking about
there.
his house.
What does a search like that tell us about where investigators are focusing? How significant is it that they've removed electronics and other materials from this property?
They
What does
just
this
said
tell
that,
you?
Jenny. They're taking his electronics.
Well, in order to get a search warrant, you need to be able to articulate to a judge that you have probable cause to believe crime has been committed and that evidence of that crime is going to be found in the place that you intend to search. So just because you search somebody's residence or vehicle or other property doesn't necessarily mean that that person is your suspect in the crime. It simply means that that place is likely to have evidence related to the crime. So certainly they had to meet that legal standard in order to execute the search warrant. And I'm sure that in addition to looking for physical evidence, forensic evidence within the residence, as you said, they are seizing electronic evidence. And that's going to be critical in this case. I mean, just from what's already been reported publicly, there seems to be a lot of online communication between people who at least appear to be David and Celeste, going back maybe as far as 2022, when she was 11 or 12 years old. There's also a lot of communication, again, just being posted online between David and other parties that appear to have some knowledge, at least of his relationship with Celeste. So the timeline is going to be really important here. And the electronic record is going to be an important part of that timeline.
100%. And by the way, we also have to mention that while this was going on, deputies in Houston, they also confirmed to Click 2 Houston that they responded twice last week to David's Cypress, Texas home after security alarms were triggered. Now, the property records tie the house to a trust that resembles the name of his debut album, Petals to Thorns. There's no search warrants that have been executed there, which is interesting because, Matthew, how would law enforcement typically treat these kinds of security alerts in an ongoing investigation when you're talking about a different property? Are you surprised that property hasn't been searched yet?
Well, that's the first I'm hearing
they
of
were
this.
heavy on
but,
Discord, and her account
it's
is not
interesting to
deleted.
think that somebody may have tried to make entry to that property. That could be an effort by somebody to remove evidence that was there. That's the obvious connection to this Los Angeles-based investigation. As to search warrants, again, officer or detective needs to be able to articulate probable cause to a judge that there is evidence of a crime on those premises. And apparently, at this point, they don't feel like they've got that.
Sharika
Now,
said, what's
I want your
wrong with
perspective
these
on
men?
this too. So TMZ
Yeah,
obtained
good
messages
question.
from a Discord moderator that was tied.
Again, I don't know, Bessie. I can't. I don't know this guy well enough to say if it was one of those sacrifices. I don't know him well enough to know if he has like mental issues. Or, I mean, clearly he has mental issues. But I'm saying like that might not have been the best thing to say. I don't know if it's something caused from his upbringing, something that, and I'm not giving him a pass. Either way, it's wrong. Let's put that there. But I don't know what variables goes into him acting this. If he did it, I want to make sure I put it out there right now. He hasn't been accused or charged with anything like that. So I'm not saying he did it. I'm not gonna say he did it. I'm just saying it don't look good for him neither. It don't look good for him at all. If the body is found in his car near his house, it don't look good. And I'll say this: if he didn't do it, he knows who did it. Does that make sense? If he didn't do it, he knows who did it. So I'm not going to say he's guilty, but I am going to say it doesn't look good on him. It does seem like he does have some involvement in it, even given his actions after the fact. So, remember if you want to support, the link is in the bio. Keep tapping and clapping, share if you care, gift and uplift. And after we finish this segment, I'd like to open the panel up for you guys to give your take on it. And remember, it's no right or wrong on it. We are just giving opinion, okay? So there's no right or wrong. You won't be judged. And if you're up here and anybody come at you in a disrespectful manner or anything like that, my moderators will get them up out of here. I got the best moderators on TikTok, bar none. And they have no problem with kicking somebody out of here if they acting disrespectful. So this is a safe space where we can all have a dialogue with each other and still have maturity to respect each other. Okay? So be thinking about it as we finish out the segment. If you'd like to come up and say some things, the panel will be open. Just put a 1 in the live, and my moderators will keep track of who did it first, and we'll get you up in order.
To David's online community.
Yeah,
and the administrator insisted that they believed Celeste to be 18 or 19 years old and denied knowing that she was a missing, 15-year-old. Part of the message that was obtained by TMZ reads, "We, the Discord and Twitch staff teams, want to clarify what we knew and didn't know regarding Celeste. We were not aware of her true age or that she was a missing person. We also did not have any contact with her outside of what was made public. From what was shared in David's Twitch streams and from her role in the server, we understood her to be around 18 to 19. Now, it's not clear which administrator made this statement, but Matthew, that's interesting, right?
It is interesting, but I don't really know how relevant it is in terms of this criminal investigation. What's important is what David knew. And all the publicly available information appears to show that he knew her age, that he first communicated with her when she was a middle schooler, again, possibly 12 or 11 years old, and that when she left home with him in the first part of last year, she was only 13. And as you know, we've been talking about her a lot as 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez.
Tori says her eyes are so
as you
sad
said,
and
it's important
intense.
to remember, she never lived to see her 15th birthday.
Right.
She was found in the front trunk of that car the day after she should have turned 15. So this really is a child. And throughout her relationship with David, whatever it was, she was unquestionably a child.
What if you can create your own website by saying,
point, because TMZ reports that there is this newly surfaced video that apparently shows David and Celeste together on a live stream interacting with fans. And in the clip, Celeste can be heard prompting David to respond to a comment. That video was recorded in January of 2024. You go back to that timeline, Matthew, of when they said she went missing. Is that video going to be key for investigators?
Absolutely. And that's just one of many images, moving and still, that have been popping up all over social media in the last couple of weeks. There seems to be a really strong digital footprint showing them in various locations, backstage at his concerts, doing his live stream, and various still images taken in various places going back at least to early 2024. And again, as you said, that was several months before she left home, and while she was still very much a 13-year-old middle school kid.
Well, I tell you what, it's not just investigators looking into this. There have been a lot of online sleuths that have been digging into David's posts on social media as well as his songs to see if there's any clue about what might have happened here. There's an unreleased song that was leaked last week. It's reportedly called Celeste_Demo Unfin, as in, unfinished. This is according to KTLA and TMZ. And in David's biggest song called...
Hold on a sec. That's a good question, Zuzu. Zuzu asked, do we think he snapped or it was premeditated? Great question, Zuzu. Great question. And in fact, I want you all to think about that. And so when we open the panel, we can talk about that and discuss that as well. Jenny says her mother has taken down Facebook posts where people have asked why she wasn't concerned with finding her. That's a good question. They have a right to ask that, and that is a valid question too. Wade says everybody good, pimping, telling everyone I said what's up. Tell everyone I said what's up. Definitely will. I definitely will do that. Zuzu says in between tour days, someone had to help her. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You gotta there's people around that knew. There's people around that knew. So either he did it or he knows who done it. But either way, I do think he's involved.
Romantic homicide, David sings, "In the back of my mind, I killed you, and I didn't even regret it. I can't believe I said it, but it's true." We all know whether or not lyrics will play a role in a criminal case is a controversial and constitutional issue as well. Just putting that to the side, though. In a 2022 interview, Forbes reports that Burke had said that those lyrics are figurative, saying, "I didn't kill her physically, but in the back of my mind, she died." Online sleuths have also uncovered a TikTok video made by another user, but it was apparently reposted by David, where the person in the video is chopping up chicken and words on the screen read, "Me if I see her talk with other dudes." So David's label, Interscope Records, along with UMG, Sony Music Publishing, Wasserman, they have paused all promotional activities around his upcoming deluxe album and his career overall, basically. His last Instagram post celebrates the release of the deluxe version of his album, Withered, which was supposed to come out on September 19th. Forbes reported it hasn't appeared on streaming services. Matthew, a few things here. First of all, the lyrics, I mentioned, I've talked about cases involving musicians and criminal cases and whether or not the lyrics can be introduced into evidence as intent, or it shows their knowledge or what have you. But do you think that there's something of value there, or are people maybe reading into it too much?
If you get stuck on the melody.
Come on with the commercials, man.
I think there's certainly something of value. I mean, we need to be careful in treating song lyrics as autobiographical or confessional. Johnny Cash saying that he shot a man in Reno just to watch him die, and nobody thinks Johnny Cash killed anybody. But as you said, it's the totality of what he is putting out there, not just the lyrics to Celeste or Romantic Homicide, but the posts of chopping chicken. There's another post that had to do with jealous rage when he finds out she's had prior relationships. He created a sort of alter ego for his latest album and tour called Itami, who is pictured in a blood-spattered shirt. And David Burke described him in an interview as his sort of evil, homicidal alter ego. Supposedly, there's a video for Romantic Homicide that shows Itami murdering a girl. So,
what? Zuzu says, but Tesla has all the footprint on that vehicle and might even be able to retrieve footage. True. Here's the thing. I'm not sure if this is one of those rituals to where, hey, do this so I can level up in the game, and then if that is the case, again, people, I'm not saying it is. Please go on record. I'm not saying it is. What I'm saying is, if that is indeed the case, then I think we've already been taught that certain people sit in certain positions, key people sit in certain positions to where if he did and did it for that reason, they'll make evidence go away. You get me? If that is true. Now, in the event that it's not that, in the event that the machine, quote unquote, the machine doesn't see him like that, doesn't want to deal with him or invest in him in that manner, then yeah, they'll use all of those things, the footage, the footprints from the car. And you're right. Marcia says, and even footage, they have 360 cameras all the way around them with trackers. So I'll tell you, and I'm gonna make some people upset with this, but it goes into like the whole unaliving of the CK of CK. We'll just call him CK. It's okay, Christy. She says, I'm late. My bad. It's okay, Christy. I'm glad you made it. You see, they got cameras. They have cameras. And we see things that they've released as far as the two gentlemen seemingly giving off signals. And then if you follow it through, the two people that they detained first don't even match the description of what one of the eyewitnesses, or the two guys that are eyewitnesses that saw the person on top of the roof prior to the, and they trying to tell them, no, the description that you all are giving to the media is not what the person was wearing that we saw up there on top of that building, that CK. Why are y'all doing this? Why are y'all saying this when I'm telling you that ain't right? This is, we saw. And these people, I want to say, these two guys, they do have video footage of them recording the person on the roof prior to what happened to CK. And then if you go and you check the text messages that they put out, those text messages are the most fabricated text messages I've seen in my entire life. So I say that to get to this right here. There's certain people who have the ability to have a narrative pushed out in the news, in the media, to make us believe what they want us to believe. And then all the while, they're doing that to basically throw us off from seeing what's really going on, as a cover up of what they're really doing, as a diversion, a deflection. So we have to be mindful. We have to watch everything. You know? Yes, thank you, Mars. For those of you that have sent heart-me's, first of all, we thank you. But secondly, make sure you get your points. There's an orange heart up there above me. Click on that and get your points. That's why I have the best moderating team on here, because there's things I don't announce, I don't remember, and they got me. I appreciate that. Jenny says, I believe her mom's was part of it. It may be paid off to keep quiet, which is something else. that is viable. Those are things that have happened before in this particular industry. So that could very well be. You have to say. I mean, we'd be remiss if we didn't admit the fact that it's questionable as to why you weren't concerned with your child missing. Adrian, good morning. Good morning, bestie. Someone asked me if I was there. I can't remember the name on who I was talking. No, I wasn't. I wasn't there. I wasn't there. Of course, in Utah, I wasn't there. So, but however, I am. What's the word I'm looking for? I do know how certain dealings with these people go, and so when that happens, you kind of know what to look for when things of that nature happen, and you've seen it before, and you know what's what. You pay attention to the framework of the main thing, the main picture that they want you to see. You have to pay attention to your details around it, because if you don't, you'll fall for the proverbial banana in the tailpipe, and we don't do that. Someone said, did we forget due process? I don't know who forgot due process. And if you talking about this person on the screen, we've said a few times, quite a few times, that we're not saying he hasn't been charged with anything. So I don't know exactly what you was referring to, but if that is what you was referring to, we've already stated that. We pride ourselves on this show. I don't know what other podcasts you go to on TikTok, but here at hashtag, I'm going to say it. We do try our absolute hardest to bring you facts. And if we don't know something, we try to tell you we don't know it. We will tell you. But if something don't look right, if the math ain't mathing, we aren't afraid to tell you that the math ain't mathing. Now, whether you choose to turn your homework in with the wrong math and get a bad grade, that's on you. But we are going to try to help you understand that these people don't always show us what the truth is. They show us what they want us to believe. Marsha, and we're going to get back to the audio. Hold on, I want to get these comments. Marsha says the parking lot where he met up with her has cameras also. So why have they not pulled those? Another outstanding question. Now, I don't know if they have or haven't. I don't know. But I feel like if they did, then this investigation would be further along. I'm going to be honest. And then I'll get back to the audio. But if it were me on the case, once I realize that I have a person who is possibly liable for the unaliving of someone, if they're still walking free, I would like to have eyes on them. I would like to have some officer, some form of officer nearby watching and tracking the movement, because I don't want them to possibly get away. And I don't know if he did go on the run. I just know that they were saying he was no longer at the house where the car was found by, in the house that he was living in California. Excuse me. Marsh is right. Agreed. And the fact that she was only 6 minutes away from her own house. Yeah. Zuzu says they probably have eyes on them. Absolutely. I would definitely do that, because you got to think, man, sorry, y'all. Please forgive my throat. But you got to think, if there's one person that's already unalive, that we can confirm that's unalive, and he has a connection to, and then I'm not saying it's true, but there's been stated that there's another body that he could possibly have something to do with. That's not the type of person I want to roam freely. throughout my community or any community. You know, that's just my take on it.
Is it proof of anything? No, but it's certainly information, and certainly part of the total picture that investigators and prosecutors are going to have to look at.
Why do you think there's been a full stop pause on his career? Is it because, hey, listen, from a PR perspective, from an optics point of view, as this investigation's going on, we as a business, we can't continue to promote his music. We can't, have any role in this whatsoever. We want to distance ourselves. We want to let this cool off. Or does it signal to you that there is something going on in the investigation, that there is a development, that something is about to happen? It would help in the sense, now you know where he is, and if you need to further question him, he's not going on tour.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He's not leaving the U.S. As to the sort of business decisions, I mean, he right now looks like somebody who's in a lot of trouble. All the available information right now seems to point to him. I can't imagine any publicity conscious business wanting to continue an association with him or wanting to promote him at this time. That, though, is a different calculus than, is he guilty of homicide? And can that be proven beyond a reasonable doubt? So there's the optics right now, which seem to point very strongly to his guilt. That may yet prove to be the case, but we're still a long way off from, even at this point, apparently probable cause to arrest, much less guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
We got to talk about this next development. It's pretty wild, okay? A Southern California teacher, who has, by the way, not yet been named by law enforcement, revealed, or apparently revealed in a TikTok video, that Celeste had once been his student at Lakeland Village Middle School. In that video, which was recorded by a student in his class, he can be heard recounting that Celeste allegedly told other students that she met David online, again, when she was 13 years old, ran away with him, was eventually found by police in Hollywood, and then disappeared again in 2024, May of 2024. And the teacher said that he even spoke with students at the time who told them that she had been in contact with David. TMZ says they spoke with this teacher who told them that he shared this story with his class as a cautionary tale about the dangers of social media. Matthew, given this teacher's account or alleged account of Celeste, running away, her interactions with David, what are the challenges that this type of information may present for investigators? How seriously do law enforcement agencies weigh this kind of statement?
It's so easy to
become. I mean, just based off the lyrics that we've seen previously, like, it's very telling. It's very, very telling. What do they say? What these kids say? It's sus, very, very sus. And we've definitely talked about on numerous occasions how lyrics in a song are imitating real life. They're telling us what they have done in real life, and some just take it as lyrics, and leave it there. When in all actuality, they're admitting to what they've done. Wave says very sus, as they say. Laugh out loud. Yeah, sus. Isn't that word? I mean, it's due process. Yeah, all that. Right. Was I there? No, I wasn't. But I mean, sometimes you just got to use common sense. And something doesn't look right, it doesn't look right, and you're gonna call it on it. I like that, Wave, because that was one of my main questions right there. Where's her dad? And that's what I mean by we don't know exactly what the home life was about, right? Somebody made a comment earlier about her eyes and how Tori was saying how her eyes, man, and her eyes is just. And I didn't think about it or realize it until I looked at the picture. And yeah, you look in her eyes, you can see a lot of hurt, a lot of just trying to basically just make way through life, trying to figure this thing out. And I don't know. So we don't know, and that creates a whole nother problem within itself. We don't know what the home life is. Truly says meeting them, the key is to pay. Hold on, it went up too fast. I'm sorry. Off to keep quiet. These kids. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes the parents do accept money to stay quiet. Waves are sad and innocent in the eyes is what she said. Yes, yes, that's exactly what I see. I can agree with that uh, observation. Marsha says, brother said he did not like her mother. Mm. And see, I don't know all of it. See, again, that goes into the dynamic. What was the household dynamic? What was the very fabric of her family? What was it? Because clearly we've stated she's got a pattern of running away. That's a pattern of behavior for her. More than once, she's ran away from home. Yeah, I get it. Some kids are just rebellious. I do get that. But what is the root cause of making her run away repeatedly? What is going on in the house that to where it makes her think running away is the better option, even at the young age that she's at? And granted, we know at the age that she's at, her, brain hadn't developed all the way, so don't really know all of the things, right? But so what is it? Life is says no matter what her pattern of behavior is, she didn't deserve to be unalive. I don't think you would find anybody on here that would disagree with you on that. And understand when I'm saying what her home life was about and her pattern of behavior or running away, what I'm saying is what was going on to make the pattern of behavior. Dirty, my homie Dirty, was good with you, family. Thank you for making it in. When I say her pattern of behavior of running away, I'm not, hold on, let me make sure you get, I'm not saying anything about her. Listen to what I'm saying. What is going on at home that made this baby feel like she wasn't loved enough that she had to run away? Do you get it? What I'm saying? Then if I put it that way, you get what? Because I don't want it to sound like I'm blaming her for anything. I'm not blaming her for nothing at all. Nothing. She don't have an ounce of blame from me. But I do agree with the people who are saying, where's the dad? Why is the mom not looking for her? Why? Well, I'm gonna say why both parents aren't looking for her. Because most parents I know, if their child isn't back by the time they said they were going to be back from someplace, my mind is already going, hey, something's not right. Hey, I need to hear from what's going on. Selena says they need to investigate the parents, period. Let's get that up to Selena. I agree. T. Marie, no problem. Yeah, I absolutely. I want to make sure that I'm getting, because words can be misconstrued here. Yeah, and I'm not blaming her for anything. I am blaming him. I am blaming the parents. I am saying I feel like we need to find out what is the root cause for this young lady to run away multiple times. Not saying she's wrong for running away. I'm saying what is happening in the household. That part, Selena. Selena says the blame is on the parents and that grown boyfriend. Yes. Period. Pointblank.com. That's where we at.
Obviously, do law enforcement agencies weigh this kind of statement?
So, a video taken by a student of a middle school teacher in his classroom is not in itself proof of anything. It's information. It's not evidence. Question is, can this teacher's account be corroborated in other ways? And again, a lot of what's coming out now is just coming out on social media.
And hey, that's a valid problem too. That's a valid problem too, because sometimes, and yeah, let me give it to you, Dirty. You're right, brother, because a lot of time these kids are trying to come to the parents. They are trying to talk to them and tell them what's going on. And for whatever the reason, the parent act like they can't take a moment to listen. They're caught up in other things or whatnot. So again, that could be another contributing factor. that could be another contributing factor, which again, that would fall in line with us blaming the parent. I still blame the parent. Jenny says romantic homicide video shows a girl that looks like her and shows a body in a trunk. Wow. Wow. I definitely, I'm going to go look this video up after the show. Zuzu says he was the cause. She was attached to him from so young. She was attached to him. So I think so. If we say that, we can say he was grooming her, right? Is that right? We can safely say that. Rose Love says it's pretty creepy. I agree. It's pretty creepy, and I know people are saying, like they just said before. Well, do you have due process, and was I there? And no, we wasn't. We really wasn't. But again, people, pay attention to the framework. Pay attention to the framework. Let's just start off from the fact of he was wrong for even talking to her, right? But then you have a person like that is grooming this young lady, probably telling her things that she want to hear, probably using his status in the music industry. Hey, I'm a famous rapper, and I guess famous. I guess he has a following. I don't know, but in any event, I'm this big time hip hop artist or whatnot, and and I'm sure it was cool for her to be in her mind, cool to be with a person like that. He's got money. She probably wouldn't have to want for anything anymore. But whereas he's using it for control, it's bait to control her. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's where I'm getting this. And again, I could be completely wrong. I am only giving you my opinion based off of what I'm hearing now. We know lyrics in the song. You don't make lyrics in a song like that, and then it happens in real life, and you just gotta pretend and say, "Well, he's innocent," or "What about due process?" That's suspect. That's I don't care how you. Okay, if you yourself right now come on social media and you talk about that happened down at Gus's liquor store on 5th and Johnson, and then tomorrow night in your city somebody is at Gus's liquor store on 5th and Johnson, but you said it the day before, who you think they're gonna come talk to first? Because I'm gonna tell you, if you just say, "Well, it just happened to be that way," okay, well then we need to know the lottery numbers, and that's what I mean by we got to be real with ourselves here. Truly says they would say that's a motive, and rightfully so. Jenny says in 2024, she was asking for help and she was threatened by folks online. Bullying. Another thing that's an issue. Marsha, let's give it up to Marsha. Marsha just got that number 3 gifter badge. So what does that mean, people? Yep, you got it. That's right. Marsha been putting in that work. Celeste's mother was on social media. I'm just saying, we just got to pay attention to all of the factors that's going on around here. Like, yeah, the main thing is, boom, her body was found dismembered. She was with this dude. I had a relationship. I mean, it's documented they were together. They got videos online together. Mind you, while these videos are posted online on his account, she's still young, so crime was committed right then. Just saying. Because she's a runaway from home. So that's harboring a runaway. Just for those who may not know. And so we already have that there. And so now her body is found dismembered in a vehicle that he owns. And I'm just trying to say it's hard not to judge. It's already hard not to say he's guilty of it. You get me? Yeah, I get the due process. I do. I get all of that. But some circumstantial evidence speaks loud. There's a lot of explaining to do. That's all I'm getting at.
Levels of hearsay, somebody posting on TikTok something that they're screenshotting off of Reddit or Discord. But it seems like the family is also telling authorities that indeed Celeste left home initially in April of 2024. That's when that missing poster was created. It describes her as leaving home, last seen wearing Hello Kitty sandals, that she came back for about a month or so, and that she left again in May, and that she was last seen by the family going someplace with David. So if that is indeed what the family is saying, as has been reported, that would jive exactly with what
Truly
the teacher is alleging.
It's emotional.
And that
She's just
is
a kid.
useful information
Exactly.
for authorities when it's not just
Ma Dukes,
alleged,
good
but
morning
also
to you.
corroborated.
And the fact that this information surfaced on social media, does that affect how investigators handle it?
You know, it's funny, in trying to educate myself about this case, I realize that most of the up-to-date and detailed reporting is on social media, on Reddit, on Discord, on TikTok,
Little bit
on
says she was
Instagram.
last seen
And
on camera
that is a challenge for
August
investigators.
24th, 2024 at David Concert in Maryland, if my calculations are correct. She was unalive that night. First of all, thank you a little bit for that. Thank you. Let's give it up to a little bit. I'm sorry. Let's give it up to a little bit for that. Because that's telling. That's telling. That's telling because now you are taking this runaway across state lines, different places. Jenny says on July 11, 2024, he says he had a baby on the way via Twitch. And y'all are saying she was pregnant, right? Little bit says, and her body was found September 8th. Marsha said that's kidnapping. Truly says normally they say it's the last one that was with her. I'm just saying. Facts. Little bit says 2 weeks and 2 days her body was in that trunk decomposing. Okay, so now listen, and I want to speak to the due processors and the were you there's, if you will. So let's just take into accountability that this child's lifeless body, dismembered body, was in the trunk. According to a little bit, she says 2 weeks and 2 days in the trunk of a car. His car. He didn't report her missing. He didn't go to the police and say anything about her. Makes me think he's in on it. Makes me think he has something to do with it. Truly says too many motives. Perfume Girly, what's good? Which says so sad. It is. It's definitely sad. It's definitely sad. And because like I said, she didn't even get to live life. She didn't even get to live life. Truly says the rumor is, was she pregnant? Yeah, and that's what I was asking. Wasn't it stated that she was pregnant? Thank you for the rose. I appreciate the gifts. I'm sorry I hadn't been thanking my gifters. Thank you all. Thank you all so much for the gifts. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so sorry. Rose Love says, wow, that's just so sad. As a mom of 3 girls, I would move heaven and earth to find my child. Absolutely. Bye, Batty. Thank you for the rose. I appreciate that. I'm talking about we riding deep through the city. We riding deep. I'm contacting friends from school. I'm going to places they hang out. I'm tracking phones if possible. Like Logan. Welcome, Logan. Logan says, when did her mom report her missing? Does anybody know that? Does anybody got information on that? Can we get a timeline on that? Truly says, love has no fear. Doesn't. Love is blind. Sometimes we think what we think love is just because we long for that that emotional attachment to someone. Okay, they said she didn't. Rochelle, bestie in the building. Grand rising to you. White Batty says her mom. That went up too fast. I didn't see it. Sorry. She was reported missing a year ago. Dirty says, I say her mom was part of it. We have some people that agree with you on that, Dirty. We have people in here that agree with you on that. I'm one of those people. I think something it doesn't sit right. Like there's no sense of urgency in locating her. And like we said, with these newer generations, like they said, that's sus. Perfume Girlie says, rumor is she was comparing her serial experiences between David and another guy. Oh, you mean her relationship experience? Okay. Rochelle said she had that from the beginning. Logan says to Bite Batty, her mom did it, or because she wasn't attending school. Perfume Girlie says, so who? I'm sorry, they're going up fast. I can't catch them. The parents sold that poor child, is what Tiffany is saying. Listen. Extreme as that may sound, the parents sold that poor child. Extreme as that may sound to some people in this live right now, it does happen. More times than we know. Rumors are going around. Every time, I'm sorry. A little bit, I keep missing your comment. Yeah. All right. We're going to finish out this audio because I think I'm going to add a second segment to the show. It's been so long since we had a show. I think I want to add a second segment. If you all are all right hanging around for a second segment, please leave a 1 in the live.
Because this is these are new media formats, quite frankly. A lot of robbery homicide detectives are middle-aged people like myself who aren't really savvy in these newer forms of media. So I would absolutely hope that there is attached to this investigation somebody who is a lot more social media savvy and probably, frankly, a whole lot younger than me, because that's really what this investigation is going to have to include in order to really stay on top of all the leads.
Yeah, and trying to corroborate that story would be interesting too. Could the TikTok post itself be treated as potential evidence? Is it just more of a lead that they then follow? What do you think?
It's all potentially evidence. Again, the question is, can it be verified? Can it be corroborated? There's a whole lot of stuff out there. Like I said, some of it is second and even third hand. It's TikTokers reposting things from Discord or things from Reddit. And so all of that is not inherently all that reliable. But if it matches what Celeste's family shares, what Celeste's friends are able to corroborate, what David's digital footprint informs them of, what the forensic evidence shows, now you're starting to put together a case.
All right, this feels almost illegal to.
That's a commercial. That's not part of it, people.
Point. Through all of this, Celeste's family is left grieving. In a message that was posted alongside a GoFundMe campaign, the Rivas Hernandez family wrote, as many of you know, Celeste Rivas Hernandez has been identified as the body found last week. She was a beloved daughter, sister, cousin, and friend. Her family is heartbroken and devastated by this tragic loss. They are seeking help to lay her body to rest. Any funds you are able to donate are greatly appreciated.
I'm not here. Listen. I'm not, I am in no position to tell people how to grieve. But just given from what I've read from you all's comments and seeing that the family really didn't look for her, parents didn't look for her, but now you have a GoFundMe for her, and I is it me? This just doesn't. It doesn't seem okay. Then you say, as many of you know, Celeste Rivas Hernandez has been identified as the body found last week. She was a beloved daughter, sister, cousin, and friend. Her family is heartbroken and devastated by this tragic loss. I'm having a hard time stomaching that because if those words are true, and I'm not saying she wasn't a good person. I'm talking about with them. If you so if she was beloved daughter, why didn't you go look for her? Her family is heartbroken. Why your heart didn't break when she wasn't home? Yeah. I just I said yes, Gus was killed. I mean unalive. Yeah. He paid them 100%. Okay, so I just want to make sure I'm not. If I'm wrong, I know you all will let me know. Hey, no, that's not cool. Don't do that. But I'm just saying the act of caring wasn't displayed, from what I can tell, while she had ran away and while she was away from home. The act of caring wasn't displayed. But now that this is happening, now that it's getting um so much traction in the media, now it's you loved her and you're heartbroken. I'm torn in between, is that sympathy that you're trying to get, or are you all just trying to get a payday? And I don't want to as a parent, I don't want to think that way. But those are the vibes that is given. We got to keep it real, y'all. Hey, the show isn't hashtag I'm gonna say it for no reason. It's not called that for no reason. We're gonna say it, and I feel like that is a money grab. I feel like they are trying to, how can I put this? They are trying to get money off the unaliving of their daughter. That's wild. That's crazy.
Matthew, do you think an arrest is imminent here? I mean, we started this case off by not even, there was a question of whether or not they'd be even able to identify.
Says, I hope they get caught
the
as
human
well.
remains.
I do too.
Came from the tattoo. They were able to
like
ultimately identify this body as belonging to as that of Celeste. Do you think that there's going to be an arrest soon?
I can't speak to the timeline of an arrest.
Hold on, okay. That went up too fast. Said he had another body.
I would say this, that the men and women in LAPD's robbery homicide division are the best of the best at what they do.
If the family was being
from an
paid by
agency of
him,
9,000 or so officers.
Oh, to keep her.
In terms of the urgency to make an arrest, is there a public safety risk here? There doesn't appear to be. Is there a flight risk here? Apparently not. As you said, they know where he is, and he's not going to be able to go anywhere. So
that's it.
Caution would seem to be the best course of action here. This is a case that you want to put together rock solid, bulletproof.
Ooh, okay. So now, if that is indeed the case, let's revert back. Let's take what Jenny said. David has another body. Allegedly, everybody. Okay, allegedly.
Allegedly.
He has another body. It's Gus, who is Celeste's ex-boyfriend. Now, I bring that up and I stop right there because, okay, now, remember the video with the chicken that he reposted? Remember? And he says, when I think she's talking to another dude or when I, whatever. I'm just trying to say, people, we you just got to pay attention to what's going on. I mean, it tells on itself. I think Bessie Sharita said that people tell on themselves, and this is what's happening
before you make an arrest. And I imagine that's what the folks in robbery homicide are doing. I also wanted to thank you for saying what you did about the Rivas Hernandez family, because we are, as a society, fascinated with true crime, and that's understandable. They're often fascinating cases, but we're only able to tell these stories. We only hear these stories because, as you said, somebody has been terribly harmed, and the people that love them are grieving. And so we need to keep that in mind and not aggrandize or mythologize the people that do this harm, but instead keep our focus on the victims and the people that love them.
I appreciate that. This is a tragedy. This is a real loss. They are experiencing it each and every day. And let me tell you, as the investigation continues, and if there's an arrest, the legal process begins, that pain only gets worse because now they have to live through it and they have to learn more details about the crime. And that's really, really tough. But at the same point, we're trying to amplify it. If people have information, know something, that's what investigators need at this point. And even like we talk about something like the teacher, will that play into evidence? Will that be a factor? Will that be part of the investigation? We shall see. Matthew Irvine, thank you so much for taking the time. Really appreciate it. I loved having you on. We'll make sure to have you back.
Let's give it up to Law and Crime Network for that. Ma Duke says, is family scared of ICE? Good question. And well, I'll tell you this. I mean, if they are, they have every right to be, because even if they're legally here, they still could be harassed by ICE. That's a whole nother show though. But that's a healthy thing to be afraid of. It's a valid thing to be afraid of. Okay, so let's open up the panel. Open up the panel. The panel is now open. If you'd like to come up and give your take on this matter or the story that we just covered, put a 1 in the live, and my moderators will get you up. All that we ask is that give you 2 minutes. Each guest get 2 minutes, okay? Just so we can make sure we move the show along. I give you all a few minutes for those who may want to come up. If no one comes up, then we'll just go on and roll on into segment 2. Logan says to Jenny, I'm wait a minute. Was trying to see if she only dated older guys. Okay, I was trying to see if she only dated older guys. True. Jenny says Celeste hooked up with Gus, and via text she claims he was all right. Okay. Man, it's a lot of moving parts going on here. I just think let's pray for her. Let's pray for her soul. Just keep her in our prayers. Let's keep her in our prayers. This is a life that was cut tragically short, and I don't think it's fair to her. I think just from what we've heard, it just seems like this was a baby looking for love. I'm gonna be honest with you. It looks like it was a baby looking for love. I honestly, this is just my opinion, I feel like she wasn't getting the type of love that a child deserves at home. The father, I don't know. Like because I got 5 girls, and I can't even fathom this. And so maybe her father wasn't. I'm getting her father wasn't a good father, and so and I could be wrong. Listen, I'm not saying that's true. I'm telling you my feelings. I'm telling you my opinion. I feel like her father wasn't a good father. I feel like he didn't let his baby girl know that she was loved. Okay, so and I said that she didn't have a dad in her life. I'm pretty sure. And see, that's and that because a lot of times women who look for older guys or even look in bad relationships, stay in bad relationships and abusive relationships because they didn't have a father around to see how the father treated their mother and to know that, hey, when I grow up, I need a man that treats me just like that, good, just like that. Don't get me wrong, that's not always the case. Sometimes uh, women and guys, men as well. You know, they do grow up in a two-parent household and they see what love is and they still be in bad relationships. But majority of the time, it's because the daughter didn't have a father present to show her what a real man is supposed to treat a woman like. Or they grew up seeing their father abuse their mom, and so that's what they. So it's like to continue the cycle of abuse. And then you have some guys who their mom mistreated them, and so they go out and mistreat women and be abusive to women. Not giving them pass. I'm not giving neither side a pass or an excuse. I'm just telling you some of the elements that lead to these kind of things. Geo says, and David showed her. No, no, Geo. I think I pronounced your name right, Geo. No, he didn't. He didn't show her. But the thing about what I'm saying is she had nothing to compare it to know that it's bad. If you are in a bad relationship all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time, and you've never been able to compare it to a good relationship, you don't know that it's a bad relationship because that's what you're used to. You're familiar to that feeling. So no, he didn't. But what I'm saying is maybe she didn't have anything to compare it to because clearly she kept running away from home, right? So we know something wasn't connecting there. Something was absent there. Uh, and I'm just saying that maybe the cause of it was because the dad wasn't present or wasn't showing her how a man is supposed to treat a lady. Like, I'll use me for instance. I'll use me for instance. When I was younger, like 4, 5, 6, uh, my mother dated a man. Well, she dated two guys, two different guys, and I saw both guys abuse my mother, physically abuse my mother. I remember. I'm 48 now. I remember as a 4-year-old, we were at one of her boyfriend's house, and he attacked my mom, and he was on top of my mom, and she was on the bed screaming, and at 4, all I could do was bite him on his butt to get him off my mom. And then the boyfriend she had after that guy hit on her as well. It wasn't until my stepdad came along and they got together that I got to see how a man is supposed to treat a woman, love a woman. But now, and I love my stepfather, but I will say he was a womanizer. What did I end up doing when I became a teenager? I became a womanizer. What did I do when I got heavy into the pro wrestling business and got to travel and meet different women and do it? I was a womanizer. Even when I was married, the first time I was a womanizer. You see what I'm saying? So like sometimes we see when we grow up seeing the cycle of something that sends us into the same orbit or stratosphere as what we saw. I'm not saying that's the case here. I don't know what her dad. Some people said that her dad wasn't even present. But one thing I can tell you is that she was looking for some type of love from some place, and clearly she wasn't getting that love at home. So she went and sought it in the wrong places and in the wrong people. That's one thing I can definitely see. Jenny says in February 26, 2024, on David's TikTok post, someone put in comments, waiting for LAPD to get you for messing with 14-year-old. Wow. Marsha says to Jenny, I seen that too. Rochelle says to Jenny, wow, and gave him the eyes. Look, this is what I'm saying, people. Like, it's the framework, man. It's elements that goes into a lot of things we have to look into. All right. Just saying, absolutely, absolutely. The panel's open. Absolutely, you can. Let me see. Yeah, the panel is definitely open. Let me see. Okay, okay, I see it. I was wondering where's the thing at. No, 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 no. I don't want that. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to bring you up. There we go. I had to get that off the screen. Bestie in the building.
Hey, everyone.
Hello, hello. How you doing? Can you hear us? Hold on. It's saying your reception. You got 2 red bars.
Is that better?
Yeah, now you with us. How you doing?
I do 100% agree with you. It starts in the home.
Thank you. Yeah. I think I honestly feel like that's where it's at.
And I was in the same kind of situation as you. I had 2 stepdads that would, they were just abusive to my mom, to us kids. And either you, and I had some abusive relationships myself, until I met my husband that I'm with now. You either go right through it and, find something better, or you just repeat the pattern.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And, I don't want to put the blame on the parents because nobody actually really knows what's going on behind closed doors. You know what I mean? So maybe it was a case of, ice, or the dad could have been there and not there, an on and off situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I am 100% positive that this David guy is obviously a predator.
Right.
Because she was 13, 14, and he's like, what, 18, 19? Or how old is he?
I'm not sure. Let me see if we can. Hold on. Give me a second. Find that out real quick.
Because obviously he groomed her from wherever they were chatting.
Right. I agree with that. And that's what I was thinking. So right, March 28th, 2005 is when he was born. So that makes him what, 25? 20. 20. Yeah, that makes him 20 years old. If he was born in 2005 and we're in 2025, he's 20 years old.
So he was like, what, 17 when they started talking?
Yeah, around 17.
Which, I mean, he's still underage, but that's not. If you're 17, you shouldn't be chatting with an 11 and 12-year-old.
That part, period.
You're almost a grown man. You're almost a grown man. You know what I mean?
Right. Marsha said he was 18 at the time. Okay, right. So even furthermore.
Okay. Yeah, even to point my period out further.
Right. That is sick, Perfume Girl.
So I hate to point fingers without, evidence, but all the evidence is leading to him. And I heard that they did get a warrant to search his house. I don't know if they've done that yet or not.
I heard about that as well, but I heard that he wasn't at the house in California, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard that he wasn't even there when they went there. Like, he's gone now. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I hope they got eyes on him. Like, how would you I just don't think we should allow somebody who is possibly connected into something like this to be able to roam freely. Like, how will we not have eyes on him? So I'm hoping they do.
Absolutely. And because from what I've known, from all the stuff I've seen on true crime, if it's a suspect in a homicide, they hold him.
Right.
So
from what I see,
why aren't they holding him?
Exactly. He should have. To me, he should have already been not incarcerated, but already been caught.
Yeah. Do we know if he has a violent past or anything? I don't know anything about this guy.
Other than them saying that there's a second body attached to him, not that I know of.
And where are his parents?
Madu says he. Crazy part is, I haven't even heard them mention his parents.
Right.
That would be something to talk. I would investigate them too, though, because talking to his parents could possibly give you it could paint the basically his actions, how he grows up, how he grew up, what he was doing. Was he a troubled child? Does he have a history of violent behavior? There's a lot of things. Exactly. There's a lot of gaps that could be filled in. So I agree with you on that.
Because, like we said, it all starts at home.
Exactly. That's the foundation of it. Like, I don't know how hard that is for people to understand. Like, that's the first place I would start.
And a lot of serial unalivers, they have a troubled past. You know what I mean?
Right. Like I was saying, a lot of, especially when it comes to guys, I've seen on a lot of the shows that we watch, because we share that in common. We like these kind of ID shows and stuff, but when they are out being abusive to women, they were abused by the mom or by a female when they were younger. Older female might abuse them or something, and there's a I don't want to use the word hatred, but it is. It's a they have bad feelings to women and they mistreat women.
Yes, it's either a hatred or an infatuation.
Right. So let's get to his upbringing. Let's find out where these maniacal or these heinous thoughts, I should say, where these heinous thoughts birth from.
Yes, let's get to the stem of it. And I'm not by any means giving this guy an excuse.
Yeah, we're not. No one gets a pass.
Something clearly happened for him to evolve into such a monster. And for him to be famous on top of it, like, we've seen it. Famous people get away with crap.
Yes, we see it all the time.
I mean, look at B and her song.
Right. Confess. She confessed, and look, she's living her best life. Like, yes. Come on, man. Like, we've got to do better. And that's what I want people to understand. Like, I know they come on and they see us talking about people and they feel like we're bashing, but we're just trying to tell you, you've got to be mindful of what these people are doing. They're humans just like we're humans. So don't think that they're above doing bad things, because it's even, to me, if you ask me, they're worse because they have the money and the connections to sweep all their crimes under the rug.
Absolutely. And us, as these puny little civilians, we idolize them and we think they can't do any wrong. And when in reality, they're probably doing way more wrong than the average criminal out here,
Yes, absolutely. Rochelle says Stephen King. What about Stephen? I would be more inclined to say that maybe Stephen King, the way his mind is on these movies, I would definitely do some checking out on him. I'm not saying he had anything wrong, or done anything wrong, but I'm saying I would want to know how his mind got to where it is.
Yeah, because I can't even begin to write a tale like that or even think about, so what's going on in their minds.
Right. Okay, Marsha. Yeah, you want to know because one thing we pointed out during our shows, Bestie, is that we go back to the music we grew up on, the hip hop music we grew up on, and we are now seeing and finding out that they told us the crimes they were committing. It's playing out right now. So
right in front of our eyes.
Right, exactly. And what was it, 30 years, 20, 25, 30 years? This has been going on, and they've been getting away with it, and all they done was got worse. So, that's where I'm at with it, Bestie.
Well, yeah, because if you give them a mile or if you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile.
Exactly. And Jenny, you're right. She said it's sus. He's still free after they found a body in the trunk. I have to agree with that, but that goes right back into what Jess and I was talking about. These people get away with these type of things if they are in line with a certain group of people. Listen, we could do less. Not saying we would, but I'm saying we could do less, and we would already have police at our house.
Absolutely.
Right. So we're gonna follow this. We're gonna definitely follow this and do some backup on it. Anytime any updates come out or whatnot, we'll do a show on it. Because something isn't right. I don't know why he's not being picked up. I don't know if they haven't looked at all the camera videos. I don't know why the parents weren't adamant about finding her. There's so many questions that I have pertaining to this case.
Why aren't the police asking these same questions?
Yes.
Have they even talked to her parents at all? Do you know?
No, I don't know. I'm assuming they have, because the detective that was on the Law and Crime Network interview, he said the parents are mourning her passing and dealing with that. So I'm assuming they did talk to him, but at the same time, did they just not ask the right questions? Because that's my first question. How was she gone this long, and did you all make a report? If you made a report when she ran away again, why wasn't another report made? Why was she gone so long and you all are still living life as if she's there, or I just don't know. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't be able to sleep. I wouldn't be able to eat. Things like that.
Well, and like I was thinking earlier too, is like maybe it's just the repetitiveness of her running away so often. They just thought she'll come back. She comes back every time.
Yeah, maybe. You're right.
I mean,
you're right.
I don't know. I wouldn't. I'd be everywhere from hell and back looking for mine.
Yeah, I just that's me. I wouldn't look. I have a child who gets in trouble all the time, and I can say, well, you know what? She don't listen. She always do this, and she does. But every time she gets in trouble, it still bothers. I still want to know. I still ask her, like, what is it why are you doing this to yourself? Why are you putting yourself in this? Like, there's still care. There's still concern. There's still compassion.
Absolutely. Like, how can I help?
Yes. That. Thank you, Bestie. That's exactly what I'm saying. How can I? Why did they not say, what is it that we can do that will stop you from running away? What is it that we're not doing that you feel you're lacking? What can we do better? Because we love
maybe
you.
It was a matter of her getting abused in the home, and I wouldn't want to be in a home I was abused in.
Right. Now, okay, so now and that very well may be why they didn't, because they know they may have been doing those things to her. And now they know that, hey, if we make a report or say that, she could tell them what's going on, and then we'll be in trouble. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's so many open-ended questions that we need answered. Truly says each time is different. I would be worried. Traffic. Yeah, traffic is a serious thing.
Oh, it's bad out here. Me and my husband, we just went and delivered some puppies to people in Indiana, and we stopped at rest stops to use the bathroom, and we're thinking, how many kids get ran through these freaking truck stops that nobody even knows about?
Right.
We told our son, because he was with us too, we told our son, stay with dad. Do not go running around by yourself, because someone can easily snatch you up and we'll never be able to find you again.
Prime example. Adam's alert that they made is because of the guy who did the America's Most Wanted show. His son Adam got kidnapped out the store.
Yeah. It could happen. I mean, we live in a small town now, thankfully, but it could happen even in my small town.
It's anywhere. Exactly. Anywhere. Ian Sibley says, I had a child that ran away a lot. I put him as it went up too fast. But basically, he was
runaway, she said.
Okay. Continuous runaway. Police to protect myself. Okay, so to let them know that he's a habitual runaway. I got you.
I didn't know you could do that.
I didn't either, but that's something they should have done. Like I'm just saying, like there was ways that they could have handled it, and I feel like they didn't care to handle it in those ways, in those manners. So I do have to look at them kind of sus.
Yeah,
Cherie Rose.
they need to they need to do more questions. They need to look into more people and find out exactly like when she ran away, why she ran away. They need to ask more questions, and I don't feel like they're doing that.
Yeah, right. I agree with you, Bessie. I don't think they are either. Let's pray that they do get to a point to where they do take it seriously and they do start asking these questions if they haven't, or if they have asked these questions, let's pray that they release the answers that they got from that. So now we can have some more context into what's going on, and then we can go from there.
Absolutely. Amen. Amen. All right, Smooth, you can go ahead and drop me down. I just got to work, so I got to do some stuff.
Okay, thank you for coming up, Bestie. Have
Yeah,
a good day.
I'll be in the chat.
Okay, all right, we're gonna go to the second segment. Thank you for coming up, Bestie. I appreciate that. Lil Mama, aka Renee, welcome in. Thank you for the heart me. Welcome in. Remember, guys, if you sent me a heart me, please click on the orange heart right above me and claim your points. Remember, gift and uplift, share if you care, and tap and clap, please. And you all are definitely appreciated being here. Adrian says some parents just get tired of running behind these kids that are constantly trying to be grown. I get that. I do get that. I don't know. I don't like part of me, I could say I'm tired of it, right? But at the end of the day, that's something that came from me, and I just wanted to get, especially if I know I've raised them the right way. Then it's like, hey, why are you doing these things? Like, you don't have a reason to do this. Now, in her case, like I said, we don't know exactly what all went on in the household. We don't know. I think that's one of the places we've got to start. We need to know some kind of intel on how her daily life was at home. And I think once we could get that, then it may or may not shed light onto why she kept running away. Jenny, thank you for them club cheers, bestie. I appreciate it. But I do think the parents need to be talked to. I think it's got to all come together. Unfortunately, of course, nothing is going to bring her back, sadly, but she still has a story that needs to be told. Marie, my bestie, good morning. How are you? So let's keep, I'm sure she does have loved ones. She does have friends. Let's keep them in our prayers. Let's keep a close eye on this. And like I said, the more things that come out, we will most certainly be here to discuss and talk about. Rochelle, thank you for the Go Populars. Thank you so much, Bessie. All right. Let's go into our second segment here. I'm sorry, someone said, can they get a recap? Okay, so here's the recap. Let's do this. Let me get you back to. Okay, you see this young lady here on the screen right now, right? Okay, and so she was in a relationship with this man right here. Thing about it is, I think she was 13 when they met, and I believe he was like 17, 18, something like that. Anyway, she is known for running away from home, which is what we were just discussing. But the thing about it is, her body was found dismembered in his vehicle, in the trunk of his vehicle. There are certain songs he made in reference to unaliving someone in that manner. There's a song that he was making with her name, and it says Unfin, which was unfinished. He's also shared a video on, I think it was TikTok, but he shared a video on his social media. He reshared, I should say, a video, and it was a person chopping up meat, and he says, what happens when I find her talking to another guy, or find out she's talking to another guy, something like that. And now I'm just finding out that allegedly the girl that he was, this one right here, her ex-boyfriend was unalive, allegedly, and so could be. They're saying it could have been this guy, her ex, or the guy that she was, him. So that's where we are right now. That's where we are right now. We're gonna keep an eye on it and see what happens. It's crazy. It's crazy. Once again, in closing to this segment, parents that have preteen or teenagers, please, 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 if you know your kids are active on any social media platform, get in their business, see who they are talking to. Like Jenny suggested, put blocks on it to where certain places there are platforms that can't go on, to prevent these kind of things as much as possible from happening. Right? Because he in no way had any reason to be dealing with her or talking to her. And the fact that she was gone away from home for periods of time, and then he's doing videos with her in it, like they're doing lives and she's in it, and people know that she's not the age of consent, and it's just what, listen. Wow. That's all I can say. Let's go on to our second segment. Yep, you guessed it. This guy right here. I don't know if we are ever going to actually get to the end of the Puffy Jacket saga. I really don't know at this point, people. I don't have a clue. So lately, I guess he's been Marie said the diddler. Apparently he's been having some issues where he's incarcerated at right now. And so it says, and this is our boy Morale. We're getting the video credit from him. He says, very bad news for Puffy Jacket. Shocking, unalive attempt. New dark report. Young Miami insane statement. Like the whole heading, and I haven't listened to it, people, so I don't know how far we go down with this or anything like that. I don't know. But what I am saying is that just seeing all of this, reading that, is already letting me know it's going to be crazy. Right? As if it's like anything dealing with him is crazy. But let's get into it. Let's see.
Hey, so a lot is happening. We have to get into this. There's P. Diddy madness that has happened over the past 24 hours. So much litigation. The support letter that Miss Carisha has come out with. Everything is heating up. I told you guys that this week is going to be very intense with the litigation, especially with the hearing happening in basically 24 hours. 24 hours, guys. 24 to 48 hours is when this hearing is going to happen. But Diddy is going through it, and some pretty bad news for him. He is facing insane, inhumane prison conditions, his lawyers have stated today. Hey guys, it's Morale, daily and consistent content. Let's get straight into this bad news when it comes to Diddy. Sean Diddy's lawyers have called for the music mogul to be given no more than 14 months in prison when he is sentenced next month. Lifestyle. This basically means that he would walk free almost immediately. So when he's stating, oh, let's give myself 14 months, this man is not asking an additional 14 months. This man is asking, I want that amount so that therefore all of the credit is the 14 months and I basically will be free. In a new written legal submission, the defense team have detailed that Diddy is struggling. Officially, they have confirmed it. So many times we've been reading reports of insiders and sources basically stating that Diddy is going through it. Well, there you have it. It seemed that those sources were correct. Our discussions were correct. Diddy is going through it because his own lawyers have now confirmed it. They have confirmed that he is suffering badly and also going through inhumane conditions at the MDC, saying that he can't even eat some of the food sometimes because it's that contaminated. The rapper is actually routinely subjected to violence as well, and that he has not breathed fresh air in nearly 13 months. So this violence that he probably is going through means that other inmates are after Diddy, teasing him, bullying him, or some kind of way, or, you know, making him as the class clown or something like that, or, you know, for the fact that he's been giving the rounds on his knee pads, you know, given the Glock 5000 Super Deluxe Edition 2.0. And so, you know, once he's been done giving the Glock 5000, other prison inmates are going to get jealous of what Diddy is doing. And, you know, they want Diddy to basically give them the Glock 5000. And therefore, I think that, you know, they are basically fighting over Diddy's cheeks. And, you know, the violence is that the man is loose.
Did you know there's a type of insurance that pays you while you're still alive?
Well, Adrian says, "Are we supposed to feel sorry for him?" I can't find mine. Like I said, the only thing I would want him to do is repent and change his ways. Everything has a consequence, so you know, this is the consequences of his actions. I mean, he had the choice to do right. Definitely had the financial means to do right, and he chose to hurt other people. So. Perfume Girl says he needs to stay right where he is. Yeah. Adrian says, laughing my butt off. Perfume Girl said, next case. Yeah. Hey, man.
Defense lawyers have now made their arguments for sentencing in a written submission to Judge Arun, and this is what they've stated. In the past 2 years, Mr. Combs' career and reputation have been destroyed. He has served over...
Billy said fighting over cheeks. Did I hear that or what? You heard it.
A year in one of the most notorious jails in America, yet has made the most of that punishment. They said that Diddy has been adequately punished, already having been jailed in terrible conditions. He has also become sober for the first time in 25 years, an incident-free record. It is now time for the rapper to go home to his family so he can continue his treatment and try to make the most of the next chapter of his extraordinary life. The defense submission provides new information about what life behind bars is like. The rapper had to let more than 100 employees go from his business following his arrest, and many have been unable to find work as well. Diddy's 7 children have also faced devastating consequences according to this legal filing, including lost business opportunities in acting, television, fashion, and music. So what do you want us to do about that? I'm so sorry. What do you want us to do about that? But the fact that your father is an absolute insane madman.
Hey, and you're right, Jess Ann. She said, incident free because he's been locked up, laughing my butt off. Right, Rochelle said, poor Dippy. Billy said, ooh, that's a bad hit. Yeah. But you know, and again, I don't want to start. I'm not put it like this. Lately, this lady came out, and she stated that he gave her a package. I can't remember her name. Gina. She's really skinny. I think she's doing better. But I don't know. Jerry said, are they really trying to get us to feel bad? I know it's like, what the right? I get you. Like, I'm not, again, people, I don't wish bad on anybody, but at the same time, there's consequences of your action. Here's how I look at it. He didn't care about other people when he was hurting them. Again, why should we feel bad that, yes, that part, Rochelle, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Why should we feel bad for him? What, like this? It's the selective sympathy that's getting me here lately about a couple of things, a couple of people, a couple of subjects. Perfume Girlie says he's a bad boy for life. He said it, not us, didn't he? Jason said, poor Diddy. Philly says his daughter's been doing quite a bit of modeling. They smiling and dialing. I'm just saying. They could be free. They might feel free. Away from being under the scrutiny of his stuff and the way he lives life, they could feel free. Yeah, that's what you're talking about, Wade. Talking about the twins.
Villain of the city, and you as children are all suffering, but somehow now we need to feel sorry for the fact that all of your gigs have been lost. The rapper and his family were also set to star in a Hulu show about their lives, but the show was cancelled. Diddy was removed from the boards at 3 charter schools he created in Harlem, the Bronx, and Connecticut, and was also stripped of an honorary doctorate degree from Howard University. The defense's documents also goes into detail about the alleged conditions at the detention center where Diddy is basically being held. Diddy is routinely subject to extreme forms of violence, both directed at him and others. They said members of the defense counsel were in the middle of a call with the rapper that had to be ended suddenly because of a severe incident that locked the facility down for several days. Living conditions for Diddy are inhumane, and Diddy has been under constant suicide watch as well, meaning that every 2 hours he must present his identification card to the guards to show that he is alive and well. Whilst he is sleeping, he is awoken by an officer to ensure he is well and subjected to bright lights 24 hours per day. He has also limited access to clean water and often heats his water to have clean water to drink without getting sick. Describing the dorm-style rooms he sleeps in, they said he is within 2 feet from other inmates, I bet he is, with the bathroom in the same room with no door. Not no door. They are freaky up in there. The rapper has not breathed fresh air in nearly 13 months or felt sunlight on his skin. And the food that he basically had did have maggots in it. His lawyers have all confirmed this. Prosecutors who will also submit their recommendations for sentencing ahead of the hearing have already said that they will call for him to remain in prison for a substantial period. Diddy was found guilty of 2 Mann Act counts, as we know. So this is the filing that they have put forward, guys, to basically confirm that not only is he suffering and that there is severe violence and that he's under suicide watch and not doing well, but that his children are also suffering as well because they've lost on so many, business deals. The people that worked for Bad Boy Records, they've all lost so many business deals as well, and that basically everybody around him is going through it, but especially him basically being so close to these inmates, sleeping together, laying together, and that he is mentally in a very dark, difficult place, and he is struggling. Make no mistake, I do believe this. This is very bad news for Diddy, but I don't have any empathy for this man, because how can I have empathy for somebody who doesn't have empathy for Cassie? Empathy for Cassie's friends, empathy for the hairstylist, empathy for, all of these people that he's harmed and abused, who all came to testify. No empathy for them you had. You didn't even doubt or give mercy to anybody, but we need to now give mercy to you. It doesn't make sense to me. And this, to me, is also riddled in PR to show the world that this man has gone through so much. Please let me out. Please let me out. And Diddy is saying that 14 months, basically asking for him to be, walk immediately. We're going to see what Judge Aruna is going to say on the Thursday hearing for whether acquittal of the charges or a new trial or basically no to both. We're going to find that out. But this is a very strongly worded letter to confirm to us that Diddy is going through it. Now, multiple people have come forward to write character statements for him.
If you're a producer who hates...
I am not falling for the jailhouse talk, period. Sharita said everybody is saying Cassie but me. I don't know. I haven't heard much from her. I think there was a lawsuit filed against her as well. I think she was mentioned in a lawsuit from a person claiming they got sexually transmitted, during the FOs. Felix says they have canteen. He's over here. He's over exaggerating. Yeah, no, I mean it's jail, man. Like you don't get the conditions that he had to live in. He don't get the luxury that he had before. And so here's the thing: if he did right, he'd still have those luxuries if he would have done right by them instead of doing what's bad. Yeah, Sharita, by her and him. But Sharita, now it's this one lady is coming out stating that he gave her the A word.
Caresha is one of them, and this is basically what she stated. Dear Your Honor, My name is Carisha Brownlee. I'm a mother, daughter, sister, and a hip-hop artist who has spent many years in the public eye. I want to be clear that I cannot speak or defend anything that he may have done, but I've met Sean Combs and do not condone any wrongdoing. For 3 of those years, I was in a public relationship with Sean, and during the time, I witnessed and came to know a different person than the one often portrayed. Behind the scenes, he was loving, genuine, and supportive. I'm writing this letter because I believe it's important for the court to know the side of Sean that isn't always seen or spoken about, the man who poured into others. This is not The Color Purple, guys. He helped shape me both professionally and personally.
Right,
he believed
Sharita.
in me, pushed me to grow, and taught me how to be a better businesswoman. He helped me find balance between chasing my dreams. Listen, this is pissing me off, talking about how she went to her first Met Gala and that Sean helped her do this and that he gave me a voice by providing me a platform on his network to speak. Opportunities change in the direction of my career. I've witnessed him doing inner work, and that Sean is not a danger or a threat to the community. He is a man of God. This is not a man of God. I'm so sorry. Carisha, if you don't look after your children and close your damn stinking mouth talking about that this man is a man of God when he's facing how many civil lawsuits of SA, let alone the madness that came to testify, all the prosecution needs to do is show that tweet of Young Miami threatening Gina, whoever it was, to say, I can make Diddy get you down on your knees to do things for me.
Facts.
That's all the prosecution needs to show. Run that tweet back up, because she was so dumb and confident to publicly say to somebody in front of everybody else, I can make you be on your knees via the help of Diddy. And yet she has the audacity to come here and say that.
Sherry, is it Cherie? I think it's Cherie. I'm sorry, I've been saying Sherry. Cherie says, by the way, I feel horrible when there are actual people in jail who are innocent. Like the guy who went down for the Puffy Jacket and the Pew Pew situation. Yeah, Shine is who you talking about. And I'm with you. My cousin is in that situation right now. He's been in prison for 13 years for something he didn't do, just because our other cousin lied on him. So yeah, I agree with you fully on that. I hate that.
This is a man of God. Is everybody okay today? This is worse than Janice's character statement, because she put one out back in November, October in 2024. This is way worse. This is far delusional. Judge ... That's a good man. I know Judge Arun's going to rip this letter up talking about don't waste my damn time, because nobody's asking you, Carisha, to do all of this. And you may have seen a different Diddy. Okay. But at the end of the day, the majority of people did not see that Diddy, which is why he's in the current predicament that he is in today. So your opinion of Diddy falls on deaf ears to me, because clearly other people have gone through severe harm, and you're just annoying the hell out of me. Just really annoying the hell out of me, guys. Multiple people have given another letter of Janice Combs. Then you got letters of Keisha Combs, Dallas Austin, Tiffany Brown, LaWanda, Justin Combs, Quincy Brown, all of the children, Chance Combs, Delilah and Jesse Combs. These two daughters, the twins, I feel like they do everything together. Do you need to sign off on the same letter together? Can't you do things that are more individualistic? Why does everything have to be a collective? It's weird. Like, find your own personality. You don't have to keep coming together all the time, 24/7. You even come together on the same letter. Like, relax. Letter from Dana Tran, Christian Combs, multiple other people. Obviously no big celebrities, Carisha, and then you have multiple other names of different people who perhaps, know or whatever. The prosecution are going to fight against this, but this is what the defense have used, and, Young Miami has come forward, which I think is just so dumb. Career killing. Like, instead of you to be in that studio making new beats and trying to perform with new songs or presenting, you're out here writing a character statement for a man who's been accused of so much, so many people have come to testify.
There's somebody who actually has a song out, and he has Puffy Jacket talking in the beginning of it. I can't remember who it was. I'm going to have to go back and look and find out.
All of the freak-offs, the allegations, Cassie's lawsuit alone, if you read it, let alone multiple lawsuits, and you've come to say, Judge ... he's a good man, talking about dear your honor, talking about this is the man of God. What delusion. But I was waiting for her to come. I told you she would come.
Why do all these people who do bad things, and then like some who have spewed hate and division, why do people call them Christian or child of God? And I mean, yeah, we all God's children, but they're not doing the work that God commanded us to do. Like, why do they put Christ Why do they put it as if it's a game, it's a toy, it's something that you just bring up when you want to not be held fully accountable for your actions? Like, like I don't get it. Like like the other person that clearly was spewing division and I mean just but they quick to say he was a Christian. And then they get mad when you don't show the empathy or the sympathy. Well, I'll say empathy because that same person said that empathy was a sign of weakness, and he didn't like it. But then when people don't show sympathy or don't react a certain kind of way to his unaliving, now we are bad people because he's a Christian. And hold on, let me get these because I get it all the time.
He's a Christian, and for you to be celebrating his unalivement speaks volumes about the kind of character you have. You're not a child of God. God said we are to love everybody.
Miss me with that. Please miss me with that, because the same person was saying that slavery we should be thankful for. The same person that was saying the Civil Rights Act 1964 was a mistake. The same person that was calling BLK women moronic. That's morons for those who can't catch that. The same person that was saying that if he got on a plane and saw a BLK pilot, he was going to question if he was qualified for the position. That don't sound like love to me. I don't like the selective sympathy that people have when and then for you to sit here and preach and say that you are a child of God, you're a Christian, and this man is a Christian, but you sitting here idolizing him, and you know in the Bible the only thing we're supposed to idolize is God. So who's right? But yet now, when this man was told, this man by the last name of Zimmerman, down in Sanford, Florida, was told to not pursue a young BLK teenager that was in the neighborhood he belonged in, walking back from the store, and he chose to go and do so. And then he unalived that teenager. You all put that person that unalived that BLK teenager, y'all allowed him to go on tours. Y'all had meet and greets for him. You allowed him to sign your little Skittle candy packages with his autograph because he unalived a BLK teenager. And yet you expect us to sit here and show sympathy or compassion or empathy for someone who was all for the demise of the BLK race. That's not unity. That's not uniting people. I'm just saying. I don't mean to go off on that tangent, but I'm just saying it gets on my nerves to sit here and to hear this person try to say that Puffy Jacket is a Christian or a child of God when he didn't portray the workings or the dealings or the actions that God, at least the God that we serve, wanted us to do. Nowhere in the Bible did it say God wanted us to go and derug people and take advantage of them. Nowhere in the Bible did it say that God wanted us to take advantage of people that's not the age of consent. Nowhere in the Bible did it say that it wanted us to go around and put hands and feet on females. So I need to know, when they say God, what God are they referring to? Because it ain't the one with the capital G. So I don't know who, I can't remember who he said wrote that in their letter. I think it was Young Miami, but I'm not sure. But I don't know I can't remember who he said put that in the letter, but that's false. That's false. And I'm going to tell you, the judge is going to see right through this. I already think that the judge is going to see right through this for the simple fact he denied bail 4 times. This man was denied bail 4 times.
Come properly legally, and she's come to do so. Obviously Diddy's family have got in touch with Carisha to say, please, can you do this? And therefore she's like, okay, I'm going to be a donor and do all of this. The entire family have written letters as well in support of character statements. I don't think that is going to make a difference in any of this. I don't think Judge Arun cares about these character statements, nor do I think he's asking for this. If the defense are mainly stacking character statements as a way to provide support for Diddy to get off on this prison sentence, then it implies to me that the defense don't have much to go off on as of right now.
You think you're fine after a car accident?
Let's get past the commercial.
Thinking that that's going to help. It's given unprepared. It's given you don't know which way Judge Arun is going to do this. Let's try and grab everything. It's giving desperate. It's giving Diddy is panicking, and we're going to try to appease him by writing all of these letters with everybody coming together like the Avengers, thinking that this is going to do anything, when really and truly it ain't going to do shit. I done told you that this week is going to be very intense with the litigation, so please stay clued up with these Diddy videos that are coming out. Please watch them so that when the big dates come and the big news happen, you guys won't be too lost with everything that is going on. If this man gets a new trial, we're going to find out in 24 to 48 hours. And if we have to go again, we're going to have to all go again, guys, for the 2-man acts. Oh, let me know what thoughts are, guys, when it comes to this video. Do subscribe to the channel, comment down below, give this video a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. It's just one click to subscribe. That's all you guys have to do. I would really appreciate it if you click that button and subscribe. Join Murad Nation, become a Murad. Send a tip if you guys wish to. It really does go a long way, but definitely click that button. Look at the beard lineup.
He's crazy.
Wow, that's all I can say. Madness on this Diddy stuff. Absolutely madness, guys. And I think that it's only going to get even more intense with all of this litigation that's going on. For example, before I even end the video, in the matter of USA vs. Combs, Keisha Combs pledged the judge to let this chapter be the first in her brother's transformation. The dark veil of addiction, confusion, and the chaos of his life is gone. Uncle Sean promises to get his nephew soccer games when he gets out. It's all of this, let's use the family for violin moments, talking about confusion. Okay. The US Office Guides of Probation, I want to get into this as well. What they recommend for a sentence is 70 to 87 months for Sean Diddy Combs. 70 to 87 months. 70 to 87 months. Yeah? Let's see how much that is when it comes to in years. They're asking for 7 years. You know what? Reel it up. 7 years. 84 months is 7 years. We got a lot to get into, guys. Anyways, do subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys soon for another video.
Let's give it up to our dude, Murad, for another great content. Hey, man, I know we said when the trial was over that it wasn't over with Puffy, but with Diddy, but I didn't, or Puffy Jacket, whatever. Anyways, I don't even care anymore. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even care. But I didn't know it was gonna be to this magnitude, man. Like, he stays in trouble. Lawsuits still keep coming up. Angie B, baby, checking in from Liverpool, England. How you doing? I never knew it was gonna be this bad, man. Like, seriously. Seriously. It's more stuff that keeps coming out day after day after day after day. But we're getting closer to that date. But the truth's gonna break. What was it? October 3rd, October 4th, something like that. That's if he doesn't get the new trial. But I don't know. We'll be here for it. We'll keep our eye out on this as well. Like, his kids are involved. I mean, they get in trouble. The one that looked just like him, he got his own issues going on, man. Like, I don't know. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it. Let's give it up to the greatest moderating team on TikTok. Thank y'all so much. My news crew members. Thank you all for joining me and spending time with us. Thank you to my gifters and uplifters. I appreciate you. Just keep in mind, we do have new hashtag I'm gonna say it shirts coming out soon. All right, still working on that. Take care, Sharita. Thank you, bestie, for joining us and rocking with us today. Y'all give it up for Sharita. W Sharita in the live.
Every single day.
If you missed the episode of Dope Girls last night, it was amazing. It was amazing. Go on YouTube right now. Right now. Go on YouTube. Let me turn this down a little bit more. I want y'all to be able to hear me. All right. Go on YouTube. Go and subscribe to the channel Tay Retta Vision Films. Tay Retta, Tayretta, Tay Retta Vision Films. Watch Dope Girls, episode 8. Watch all of them. Matter of fact, watch all 8. But last night, 8 aired, and you definitely got to check it out. Once again, I got to give it up to my bestie, Jenny. I mean, the fact that she is a part of the show without even being there, it all tied in greatly. I'm sorry, bestie. I hated how it went down yesterday, last night. I ain't gonna say too much on it. You all just got to go and see. And yes, you'll see your self-proclaimed favorite news reporter, Mr. Breaking News, on there as Stacks. You know, Stacks like getting to the money. All right? I'm with Queen and Destiny and them, but I also like the Dope Girl. I hang out with them too. I'm just about the money. I'm trying to get where the money at, right? I'm friends with everybody. But anyways, not going to give you too much. Go and check it out. Dope Girls on YouTube only. Only on YouTube. Go and subscribe to Tay Retta Vision Films. If you've missed any of the past hashtag I'm going to say it shows, you can go and watch them on YouTube. We go live on Rumble. And we go live on Facebook as well. But if you're checking in for Facebook, it only airs live on my fan page, Mr. Breaking News. All right? That's the only place you're going to find it, on Facebook. So, with that being said, let's close out the show. Let's close out the show for this young girl. Let's give her a moment of silence. Amen. May she rest in peace. Look, as we were doing that, I just got another notification about Puffy Jacket being hit with another lawsuit. This is what I'm saying, people. But we'll stay on it. We'll see where this leads to. But you all, thank you for joining me. Remember, you could be anything in the world. Be somebody. Peace and blessings to you all. And I love you to life.